Happy July, friends, and welcome to my July bullet journal setup. I really enjoyed doing this last month, and I'm excited to show you what I'm doing in my bullet journal this month. My accent color for the month is purple, so I decided to go with a lavender theme, mostly because it's the only thing I know how to draw well. Most of the spread is based off of Amanda Rach Lee's May 2018 setup, which will be linked down below. Also, sorry for the lighting and focus shifts throughout the video. I messed up the settings on my camera and it was trying to autofocus the whole way through. All that being said, I hope you enjoy the video. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw my monthly calendar for my overview spread. I haven't had a calendar like this in a couple of months, mostly because I haven't really had anything to do in May or June, but I decided to bring it back this month because some of my summer classes will be starting, and I thought it would be a good way to keep track of due dates and also reminders. For a second there, I thought I had 8 boxes instead of 7, but thankfully I didn't. Now I'm making the spots where I'm going to write in the days of the week, as well as write in the header and the footer. I started writing April 20 instead of July 20 because clearly that's where my brain thinks we still are, but then I decided to just write over it because it's hard to write with marker on top of whiteout, and I don't think it shows through that clearly unless you're looking for it in particular. Now I'm writing in the days of the week, and then in a minute I'm going to write in also the dates of the month. Next, I'm going to go over all of the edges that I accidentally overdrew with whiteout, just to make the edges a little bit neater and cleaner. After that, I'm going to write July 20 in script over the highlighter parts, just to make it look more bold and to stick out more, and I really like the effect that this gives. I'm going to finish writing in the dates, and then I'm going to start working on the 2 bottom boxes under the calendar. These 2 boxes usually hold the space for my to be read pile and my blog posts to write pile, and I decided to use sprigs of lavender to denote the boxes instead of drawing actual boxes like I do every month. So I started out with the center sprigs of lavender, as per Amanda Rach Lee's lavender tutorial, and then I started drawing leaves on the outside, except that I realized that the pen would bleed through when the marker went down, so then I decided to do the marker first, which is what you're supposed to do anyways, but bold of anybody to assume I think ahead before I do something. So I'm going to do that all the way down to the edges, and then also do that on the other one, like this. When I got to the bottom of the second sprig, I realized that it was a lot darker and denser than the first one, so I decided to go over the first one again with another set of petals, leaves, whatever you want to call it, just to make it look more even. Next, I'm going to take my pen and actually draw in the lavender bulbs, which is what I think they are. I don't think they're leaves, I think they're flowers. But anyways, I'm going to draw them with a variety of shapes, just like how Amanda says to do it in her video, because that was the tutorial that I watched. And I do that all the way down to the bottom and also to the other one. So I finished the last sprig off, and then I checked just to make sure there wasn't any bleed through, but I didn't really think there was going to be because this paper is really nice. Anyway, I got my Pilot G2 pen and wrote in the headers of the boxes. So the first one is going to be blog posts to write, and the second one is going to be my to be read list. I also darkened the downstrokes just to make it look like a calligraphy effect, which is what honestly I always try to go for. But yeah. Next, I'm going to start working on the little boxes on the left side of the spread that have all of the little goals and tasks I want to accomplish throughout the month. So generally I have things like monthly goals, a monthly to-do list, big events, letters to write, and the like. So I'm going to put 6 boxes on this page, and I'm going to measure them out with my ruler just as a background / border for all of the other boxes that I want to do. I actually counted the lines wrong here, so in a minute you'll see me go back over with an eraser and move all of the lines around. But yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. The inspiration I took for these little boxes was the weekly planner from Amanda's May 2018 setup in her video. So basically, there are going to be little sprigs of lavender around roughly each box. So that's what I'm drawing out right now. I didn't end up really liking the effect. I don't think it looks like lavender, but it was still fun. basically doing the same process as I did in the big sprigs of lavender, except somehow the more condensed form just makes it all look smashed together and really bad. I don't know, I'm not a fan. It just looks kind of messy. Next, I'm going to start writing the headers of these little boxes. So the first one is going to be goals, and then I check to see what the other ones that I've done were, and then I start writing them in on top of each of the little boxes. And then, at no surprise to anybody, I start darkening the downstrokes to make the calligraphy effect that I only really ever know how to do. But I do really like the effect, as can be seen by literally everything I own having the same font on it. So, there's that. So my boxes ended up to be goals, to-do, events, happy mail, artwork, and school. I was trying to go for a more minimal effect with no boxes / outlines of these boxes. That doesn't even make sense. Oh well, we're gonna roll with it. Anyway, I tried doing it without the edges, but then I thought that looked really sparse and kind of like blank. So then I decided to draw in the outlines after all. like how the boxes look, and I'm really glad I decided to go with it instead of the more minimal look. Now I'm going to fill in the bullet points in both blog post and to be read, just so it makes it easier to fill out and it also makes the page look more cohesive somehow. I'm also going to make bullet points in all of the little boxes on the left side, except for those I'm going to use the back end, or like the highlighter end, of my mild liner. So this is what the spread ended up turning out to look like. I really like how it looks. I think the little sprigs of lavender really add a nice pop of color. And even though I don't really like how the lavender looks on the left side, I still think overall they give a really nice effect that I really like. Next, I am going to start working on my daily task list and my habit tracker. Every day, I write down my focus task for the day on the left side of my bullet journal, which is my biggest task that I want to accomplish that day. And then on the left side of the page, I track all of the habits that I want to track, which is like a lot. But I really like having a ton of habits because it kind of helps me form a routine, which I really like. Basically, I'm dating up the side, but right here, my camera overheated and stopped recording, and I didn't realize. But basically, on the left side of the page is a box that has the dates of the month written across the top, and now I'm drawing decorative lavender sprigs all along the edges. The look I was trying to go for here was kind of like a lavender bouquet type of thing, except I don't think it really turned out the way I envisioned it. I still think it looks cute and I still think it mostly looks like lavender, but what I wanted it to look like was kind of like the upper left corner with the daily tasks. But oh well, you live and you learn. I'm not really an artist, so. So next I am going to start writing in the header for the habit tracker, which is going to say July 2020 daily tasks. And then I'm going to do that same thing on the previous page where I write over it with ink and then darken all of the downstrokes to create like the highlighted effect. So this is where I start writing in my habits, which in real life took the longest time because I don't ever think out clearly ahead of time what I want my habits to be, And so there's a lot of flipping back and forth between old pages and brainstorming what I want to do this month and all of that. So I sped it up like a ton in the video, but in real life, this part always takes the longest. It just is like that sometimes. Oh well. I ended up finishing the habits after I finished filming because I just couldn't think of anything else I wanted to add. So anyways, here is the flip through. So this is what the monthly calendar looks like. It's my birthday on the 10th. And then all of the little boxes that I still have to fill in with my goals and stuff I want to do. I started filling in some of my goals, but other than that, the page is mostly blank still. Next up, I have my habit tracker and my daily task list, where the daily tasks is just a task I write on the line for the day. This is my favorite sprig of lavender. And then it goes down the edge, and then these are all of my habits that I want to keep track of in the month of July. That's what the top header ended up looking like, and that's what this spread looks like. Anyway, thank you for following along on this month's plan with me. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to subscribe. See you next time, whenever that is.